Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is really exciting actually. So I'm Dr. Kain. I'm also a neuroscientist. Today I'm going to tell you my skincare routine, and clearly this has been modified over the years, over time. So let's dive into it. So the first step is to get some lukewarm water and just wash the face with the lukewarm water. What I also do is I actually wash my eyelids with a foaming wash, and that contains tea tree oil. And the reason I do that is because with oily skin, there's a tendency for even the eyelids to have oil which can clog the pores, and it leads to something called styes. So the best thing to do is to get some foam wash which contains tea tree oil, and that is to gently massage the eyelids. And what the tea tree oil does is it helps to combat the bugs which can actually block the pores and cause the styes in the first place. And now we come to actually washing the face itself. And what I tend to do is I use a soap which is non-drying, so quite a gentle soap is really good. And once again, this also contains tea tree oil. You can use soaps which contain other ingredients such as shea butter, and I've done that in the past, and that helps to ensure that your skin doesn't dry out too much. And the reason is that I tend to use soaps for oily skin because oily skin already has quite a lot of oil on the face, and using a soap can help to just let the face feel more fresh. I think that really helps. And as you can imagine, because you have a soap, it's all the more important to have a really good moisturizer to make sure that your face is well moisturized. After washing my face with soap, I then go ahead to use a scrub. And I tend to use a daily scrub. And the reason is that daily scrubs are more creamy in texture, and the beads actually are more softer, so it's not as coarse. It tends to be a lot more smoother and more gentle for the face. And this is really good for oily skin because, as you can imagine, oily skin is prone to getting pimples. And by using a scrub that is gentle, it just ensures that there's no harsh scrubbing of the face. Now, once again, if you do have pimples or acne, you can choose to even avoid using a daily scrub for a while, or you can find a daily scrub which is suited specifically for acne-prone skin. Now, the next step I consider is optional, and that is to use a toner. And the reason for using a toner is that it helps to get rid of excess makeup from the face, and it also tightens the pores and prepares the skin for the moisturizer, which is the next step. Now with the toner, it's completely up to you whether you want to use it or not. You can use witch hazel extract toner, which I've done in the past, and that can leave a tingly feeling on the skin. Once again, try the toner for yourself and see if it's something that you feel you need. I personally did start using a toner but tended not to use a toner, only just because of the feel that it has on the skin, and in general I don't really use makeup often, so I didn't really feel the need to use a toner. Once again, try it for yourself and see how you feel first. The next step is really important for oily skin, believe it or not, and that is to moisturize the skin. And moisturizing is so important because it really just calms the skin and ensures that your skin doesn't feel as tight just from washing the face. Now, believe it or not, like I said, oily skin does need a good moisturizer. It does get dehydrated. Oily skin does not necessarily mean it's hydrated all the time. And one thing to notice about moisturizers is to make sure it's non-comedogenic. And what that means is it doesn't clog pores, and it's not a heavy moisturizer. Now, I personally use a moisturizer which contains oat kernel extract, and that's really good to help skin moisturized over time, especially on cold days. You can imagine on winter days where the skin gets a lot tighter and it can get a lot more dry as well. So really invest in a good moisturizer. It doesn't have to be expensive at all. Now, after moisturizing, the last step is to use the blot powder, and this is really important for oily skin, just so it stays fresh for most of the day as well. Blot powders, they absorb the extra beads of oil that start to surface to the skin soon after washing your face and moisturizing your face. And I'd recommend a compact blot powder as opposed to a loose blot powder. That is because the loose can tend to leave a bit of a rough look on the face. It's not a very fine look on the face, can look a bit powdery on the face. So go for a compact blot powder, and especially one that might be tinted and suited for your skin, so it doesn't really stand out like a powdery face. And two important hacks, or really useful hacks that I find for oily skin during the day. And the first one is to drink enough water. You'll find that, and you probably notice the days when you don't drink enough water is when your skin just starts to feel a bit tight and doesn't feel as elastic as it should. So really invest in just getting a water bottle that is next to you the whole time and you're just drinking water throughout the day. And the second tip is to use what I call blotting tissues. The great thing about blotting tissues is that it just helps to blot away the oil without adding any extra products to the face, especially if you've invested the time putting makeup on the face. So find some blotting tissues, they're really, really useful. And thanks so much for making it through this first video. This is really exciting. I hope to share more tips and more topics with you. Comment in below what other topics you would find really interesting to learn more about. Once again, I really love to do research, so I'm more than happy to research into more topics that you'd find more interesting. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.